In the spirit of the holidays, I thought I would give you all a little gift. And that's a full album episode from the Patreon archives featuring Rancid's And Out Come the Wolves, which is the band's third studio album from 1995. And because almost exactly 2 years ago to the day, I heard Maxwell Murder for the very first time here on the channel. Holy shit! And that's the video that single-handedly started me down this punk rock journey. I've even gone on to learn that bass solo since then. And I've gotten to explore hundreds of great punk songs, all thanks to you guys, and I've now reviewed over 25 punk albums in full, also over on Patreon. So I wanted to celebrate that 2-year milestone by posting this episode for you all. But the actual reason I'm doing this is because, well, my wife will have just underwent major surgery the day before this video goes live, and between that and the holidays, I just need to take some time off. However, I have another really fun episode from the archives going up this Friday. I think you all will have a lot of fun with, so stay tuned for that. But for now, I present to you the first full album reaction episode I ever made from last year. That is Rancid's And Out Come the Wolves. Okay, so I've obviously heard this before on YouTube. I haven't listened to it since I did that video, so this will be a fun way to reconnect with the record. Kind of coming back to me. What an album opener. You know what's funny? I didn't really understand much about punk when I did this song. And doing all the punk that I have so far and coming back to this now, I have so much more of an appreciation for what I'm hearing. I kind of get it now. This is just as crazy as I remember. Dang. That holds up. It really does. Okay, gonna use my one pause. One pause per song, that's what I'm giving myself. Now that I'm hearing this again, I kind of realize the genius in the way he's playing that solo. And I said this a bit in the video, but it's like he just keeps a 16th note, dig it with the pick. And what I didn't really pick up on until I was editing that video is that he's actually plucking notes between notes. So he's kind of like sliding, let's say, from a G to an A. And you're getting a lot of that in-between thing, which kind of gives this whole like slippery slide thing to the whole thing. And it makes it sound, and I think I said this as well, it makes it sound faster than it is. Now, granted, he's playing super fast, but it's almost like a country sort of bluegrass type of inflection on what you're playing. You're not just going, you know, 2 notes between G and A. You're kind of going, and that just gives it that, I don't know, it's just an interesting thing to hear for the punk genre, which again, I'm still learning about, but that kind of has like a bluegrass sound, the way he's playing it to me. I don't know. Bluegrass, folk, just any of that fast Americana, which I'm familiar with some of it, but I failed to mention that in the video I did. I thought that was awesome. There's my one pause. Let's keep going. Oh, yeah. All right. Track 2, the 11th hour. So this is all new for me now. A little bit more broken up. Cool groove. So I've got the lyrics pulled up. I don't really do this a lot, but if I'm doing the full album, I at least want to grab the message of it, maybe. So I'm going to have these kind of pulled up here. Just wish it wasn't like red. It probably looks red on my face. We'll figure that out. Ooh, going to the minor 3 there. Bass just gurgling underneath. You know, this has like a, that's my one pause. This is like a slowed down kind of version of Maxwell Murder in terms of the way he's composing the bass lines. I really like that kind of, let's say, major 9 arpeggio. And that's a weird way to overthink it, but I kind of heard like, so 1, 5, and then if that becomes the 1, that's another 5, which is a 9 interval. And I know he's just kind of outlining the chord changes, but jumping from a low F all the way up to a high G, it just, his bass lines have just, they cover a lot of range. Like they're very wide in the note choices. Now, granted, Maxwell Murder was one long, big, crazy bass extravaganza, but the big point of doing these full album reactions is just to get to know the tendencies of the players a bit more, if not the whole band. And I'm even taking some notes here. Just if I hear something I want to write down, or if I hear something that keeps coming up, it's something worth talking about between the songs. But I love that it's more of a slowed down, dun, ga-dun, ga-dun, ga-dun. And, you know, he puts in that kind of walking bass line movement when it starts picking up. He matches the vibe of the song very well, as a bass player should, but I like the way he's doing it. Let's keep going. There it is again. Now he's putting some notes in between it. Cool. Kind of building it up. Still keeping it kind of broken down here bass-wise, in terms of just having some breathing room between the notes. That's cool, little lead there. Okay, we're on to Roots Radical. Next song. Still kind of in the same key centers. It's all been around C, G, and F. Ooh, B flat. Ooh, that's a good bass melody. Cool. Okay, this is kind of similar to the last song here. C, F, and G. Go to B flat. Oh, maybe the next time. Like that bit of tonality change there. Love that little recurring melody. Ooh. Some good yeah-yeahs. It's always catchy. Yeah. All right, there's my pause. Love the yeah-yeahs. You know, you guys hear me bring these types of things up a lot in songs. And, you know, I've never had a band, I guess, that had any vocals in it that I've really toured with other than Watermocks. We were really brand new, so there was no time for anyone to learn the few songs we had released. Of course, that whole thing ended with COVID. I'm most known for playing in instrumental bands, and I've always been envious to just be in a band that has these like crowd participation things. And I've always just kind of wanted to be in a situation where I wrote that in the studio preemptively and just kind of know the crowd is going to pick up on it. That's certainly a section where it is. And they're very smart about keeping it just 2 notes there. It's kind of like a 5th octave. Again, I talk about the playground chant simplicity, where as a kid on a playground, if somebody chanted some little nursery rhyme-ish type thing at you, chances are you could remember it because of the simplicity. And I think about that concept a lot when bands do this, because it has to be very memorable. Even if you're not a fan of the band and you're there to see Rancid, maybe you've never heard them before, like me back then. The idea is that they could do a chant like that, and one phrase goes by and you can join in with everyone else. It has to be simple. And those things typically grab you. You know, if the lyrics are really fast or whatever the case might be, when a band uses that type of element, it's really just something to bring you back into the song with something simple, bite-sized, and memorable. Now, what I like about what they're doing here with the chords is that they're going between the same couple of chords as the first two songs I've heard, C, F, and G. They're really staying in that area. And what that does is it kind of helps the whole album just sound like one song. Sometimes the song started and I looked up and just saw the change. But they go to that B flat right before the chorus, which is out of key. I think it's B flat major. And they're just kind of borrowing the flat major 7 from the sister mode of C minor. So in C major, if I just did C minor, they're just borrowing that 7th chord, which is a B flat major. Resolves nicely back to where they were. So that's a cool little move just to give it a bit of a darker twist right before the chorus. If that is the chorus, let's keep going. Got to stay hydrated these marathons.
He was on there, he was waiting for me. Well, all the punk rockers and the moon stompers who were out on the corners where the spirit chill. Cause the radio was playing, then the ticker was singing.
God, the bass tone is really good right here. So freaking punchy. There's that B flat. Smooth. Here we go. Nope. They only do it one time. I finally got the notes right on that one. Okay, back to Time Bomb. Not back to. Up next is Time Bomb. Okay. A little bit of a shift in sound here. Wow. We're up to E now. They've kind of gotten out of the C, F, and G thing. Cool. Quarter note pulsing. Just driving this thing. B and E over and over. Down to A. Cool. Ooh. Have we heard a guitar lead like this yet? Whoa! This is kind of reggae-ish. I dig this. From the razor left and tattooed below his eye. His mother cries, she knows that he is strong enough to die. He's rolling in the Cadillac, it's midnight, some roof is down. 3 shots right out of here, and dead, the new king is crowned. Okay, gonna take my pause. I also am gonna do something kind of fun. Of course, this isn't super fun. I'm just gonna tell you what track I like the best at the end. What was my favorite song? Give you some data on that. So I'm gonna be kind of thinking about that as the album progresses. I love they just took the tonal center, C, F, and G, and in this song, they kind of slowed down the tempo but went up in keys. Now they're up here in E, B, a D, and A. And I love that just kind of walking bass line between, let's say, the 5 and the 2 if they're in A. So. just a nice, just major key thing. It's still kind of the same intervals playing on the major chords within the diatonic key. If we're in A, they're going to the 4, the 5, and they're using that minor 2 just kind of in the verses to keep it a little dark. Like the reggae feel, like the organ. Haven't heard that. Didn't know that sound was even kind of in their repertoire. See, I would have never gleaned this just hearing Maxwell Murder and just moving on to the next artist. This is really fun. Let's keep going. I think the only thing keeping it from being full on reggae is the walking bass line. It's a little bit more driving. Not to say reggae can't have walking bass lines, but that's like the rancid element that's still there in this song. Ooh, okay. Olympia, Washington. Next track. Nice kind of pop-punk lead. That's a dirty word, I've learned. But I like that kind of lead melody so far. Kind of back down where we were so far in the first few songs, G and D. Nice. Woo! Big fat walking bass line over a couple of bars. That's one of the coolest bass things I've heard so far, aside Maxwell Murder. Take my pause on this one right here. Matt Freeman has stuck to really shorter phrases with walking bass lines, especially in that last song, Time Bomb. He kind of went, and that was kind of it for B minor. It was time to go to E. Then it was time to go back to B. Little short walking phrases. The line I just heard, I'm actually going to rewind a bit. I'm not going to do this too much, but I love that he took a walking bass line and took it over like a whole 4-bar phrase, not necessarily lining up where the chord changed, but starting at the beginning of the 4-bar idea, kind of weaving it, kind of going outside of where you would want the walking bass line to land. Kind of sounds like he just went rogue and walked around, but eventually made his way back to home base at the end of that 4-bar phrase. You can kind of hear it because you don't feel the chord changes as immediately. It sounds like he just went rogue, like I talked about in the Real Big Fish video. It's kind of like taking the scenic route. You can bring the listener anywhere you want. Listen to that here. I really like that. He kind of ignored landing on each chord change as it happened. So next part here. That was one of them. I think he does it again. Okay, it's this next part. Hold on, I think it's coming up. I skipped pretty far back. Yeah, right here. Maybe it's 2 bars. Very cool. It's just not as short of a phrase, and it just made this really long phrase. Really like that. It's a very nuanced thing. He does so well. Nice cross stick on the drums. See, we're writing the lyrics here. I don't want to be alone again. Hanging on the corner, 52nd and Broadway. lot of witty stuff in the lyrics. Every time I pull these up, pretty cool. Right on. Maybe this is a place that was special to them or their hometown. Did not read that far. Love those little dun-ga-da-gun-ga-dun-ga-da-gun-ga-gun rhythmic motifs. Really cool. Okay, haven't really been able to stop between the songs. I guess they really run together, and that's kind of what I wanted to capture in these full album reactions, just the way the songs bleed into one another. So don't have too much to say. Really cool. I'm not the best person to focus on lyrics, but I'm going to pull them up every now and then, just kind of get a feel of what's being spoken about, sung about. And it's kind of been the classic case of the songs I have reviewed. I've gone back and listened and read the lyrics, and it's usually something that doesn't match the vibe of the song. I will keep saying that in all these punk videos. I love that dichotomy. I love this, just how the lyrics, the subject matter can be such a contrast to the way the music is making you feel. That was really apparent when I listened to NoFX's The Decline, and I went back and listened to it on my own time with the lyrics, and I just specifically focused on the lyrics. It's like the happy elements of the music gave the lyrics a context of like a tongue-in-cheek hope, like a dark hope, almost like dark humor in a way. It's almost as if like the song is a meta concept. And Fat Mike, for instance, if I'm just going to use that song as an example, he's singing about the decline and just the societal, just everything within it. But the music is kind of like, we're screwed anyway. This is just the way it is. And that's just kind of how that contrast hits me. And it might be different for a lot of you who know this band or this album a lot more, but that's just one of my favorite things so far. Musically, I dig just how they're able to keep that same Rancid sound at any tempo. It's very apparent. Their type of sound, I'm kind of thinking back through all the different punk songs I've done so far. Nobody has sounded quite like Rancid in this way. They have a very specific way the bass and the drums interplay, and the guitar has a very specific way it kind of stays out of their way. Really cool so far. That was Olympia, Washington. Caught the last little bit there. No Cars Coming My Way, 52nd Broadway, obviously singing about a place. Again, it might be their hometown or a place they've been. Didn't read that far. I'm just kind of taking it as I hear it. Let's move on to the next track. Here we go. Lockstep and Gone. Different feel here, a whole different thing. Gonna take my pause real early because it's just a point I just made. You can kind of hear how the guitar is putting a lot of room between the chords. Lars Fredriksson or Tim Armstrong, not sure who's playing what. The guitars really add a lot of space while the bass doesn't leave any space. There's a rhyme, Mark. The bass is just chugging along. It is more like the roll of the guitar. I almost feel like the guitar is more syncopated and groovy around it. And as I just said, in between these two songs, that's a very signature thing I've heard in these first 4, 5, 6 songs so far, is that those rolls are kind of reversed. Like it's like if there's a default instrument to be up front melodically, it has always been the bass every single time. And the guitar kind of comes in for accents, or in a pre-chorus, it kind of ramps up then. That's such a unique thing, and I've heard that kind of thing in some other punk songs I've done, but these guys do it really well. And as I said, each song kind of has a completely different feel. Maybe the first 3 tracks were kind of homogenous, but these last 2 or 3, that principle has remained the same. Okay, that was my pause. Let's let it play. Woo, tasty. Hey, they might be tuned down here. That got me. Here's some D sharp and F sharp. Interesting. Everything's been in standard tuning, I think, so far. This is down a half step. Or they're just choosing those notes. Interesting. Woo-hoo. Nice. Some bass break by itself. Oh, man. Crisp, articulate. Oh, wow. Few twists and turns. I love this. These are fun. I'm having a lot of fun. I feel like I'm getting a bigger idea of what this band's about. Okay, we're almost done with this one. Up next, Junkie Man. Wow. Okay, that's the first track I've heard so far that had everything's been technical in terms of, especially what the bass has been doing, but some proggy little bits. I'm just going to call them proggy because I'm a prog musician. That's what I grew up on. I don't know what else to call them. Knee-jerk twists and turns, little stops and starts, little extra extended little fills. Drum and bass interplay that just kind of hangs over a little bit longer than you think it might would. Little progressive bits is what I'm going to call them. Love the first time, or this was the first time I heard a broken down bass part by itself, completely soloed. Even more so than Maxwell Murder, which kind of had the drums under it. I can hear his tone. It's so crisp. I'm not sure if he's using a pick for the whole album. I don't recall if he is primarily a pick player. I'm just going into this blind, and it's been 3 months since I've done that video on YouTube. It again, this kind of reminds me of Jason Black, Hot Water Music, where they have a great mix of articulations between any of their notes in a bass fill. A bass fill just isn't. It's like a mismatched little accents thrown in, long and short notes, but being able to do that at a rapid fire pace just gives those bass fills so much just character. Character is the best word I can use to describe his approach to these bass lines. And I love that he can keep them really straight and kind of doon, very kick drum. Just when he comes to these little bass breaks, I hear just a lot of just adding a little bit of shorter notes when it starts going to the rapid fire lines. That kind of thing. A lot of character, and it's so crisp and clear. All right, Junkie Man, here we go. Wow. Kind of a different guitar effect, sound that I've heard so far.
Rivers of Babylon. Oh, no, I should end up a bring on the brightness. See the sword and corners forming up and I see a likeness. The colorize a lunacy, the misery and show it with the bottom. You're caught up in a system that is going. No one else, no one takes that job from you. No one else,
F sharp minor.
No one else, no one takes that job from you. Junkie Man, tell me what your story is. Junkie Man, tell me what your story is. Junkie Man, tell me what your story is.
Cool. Similar chord progression as a few songs ago. All right, reading the lyrics. Huh.
No one answers, no one takes that call from you. Junkie Man, tell me what your
That's kind of
story
grim.
is. Junkie Man, tell me what your
Tell me what your story is.
Junkie Man, tell me what your
No one's gonna take your call.
Junkie Man, tell me what
All
your
hope is gone for you. Interesting.
My hand went blind. You were in the vein, clairvoyant. You were in the vein, clairvoyant. My hand went blind. I make love to my trans sister, and my
Transparency from the balcony.
I looked out on the big field. On the big field, it opens like the cover of an old Bible.
Huh.
And out come the
Oh,
wolves.
there's the album title.
Out come the wolves. Their paws trampling the
Interesting.
snow, the alphabet. I stand on my head.
Take my pause there real quick. Out Come the Wolves, album name. What a coincidence to pull it up right as it said that. I don't know if it said it previously. Again, this is like grim subject matter. Just reading a tidbit of the lyrics. No one's going to take your call. No one's there to answer. Tell me your story. More like, I'm going to listen. Whoever you're calling might not. But not to dive into that subject matter too much, but to again further my point that it's kind of a grim, just like a sad story. Junkie Man. And then you got this kind of happy music. There's something about that I've never heard in any other genre. I'm sure it exists, but the way it's being presented to me now, it just almost makes the subject matter a couple notches less dark than it should be. I don't know if it's a hopeful way or if it's a way to just be relatable. Like, so what? Everyone has problems. Big deal. Get on with life. Embrace it. It's part of your story. We're still going to play some music that gets you up, gets you upbeat. Maybe it doesn't make you happy, but is uplifting in a number of ways. And that's been my quest to kind of see how that resonates with me as a new punk fan. I'm an absolute punk fan now. You guys did it. You guys did it on YouTube. You're doing it here. And this is just one of the favorite kind of hallmarks about it. Okay, let's keep going. Still on Junkie Man.
Burn up and short enough and bring on the brightness. See the sword I corners coming up and there is a likeness. Return like the lunacy, the misery that's showing. Or right up and you're caught up in a system that is going. No one answers, no one takes that call.
Down to that minor.
No one answers, no one takes that call. No one answers, no one takes that call.
5-1. Cool. They use that minor chord very rarely. Just a hint in the pre-chorus. The song's subject matter, I feel like it should be all minor chords, right? Okay, next track. Listed M.I.A. Missing in Action? Up to B now. Cool. Love that chord. E flat, D sharp. Okay, another guitar lead. Haven't heard a lot of these yet. Wonder which guy in the band takes these leads. I'm guessing it's Lars Fredriksson? Who knows? I have a 50-50 shot. God damn it, man, I almost had it. Well, I'm numb, it ain't no fun, I'm less than zero. Huh. I'm checking out. I'm going to be M.I.A. Checking out. I wouldn't say this is dark, but it's real. Like, we've all been there in our own way, right? Certainly I have. Interesting. Listed M.I.A. I'm not going to get too much in the lyrics. I'm really here from the music, but I love just popping up and kind of letting the song almost prime me with the tonality of it, and then pulling up the lyrics, and it's like, oh God, it's dark. That's kind of the recurring theme so far. Not to harp on it too much, but cool one. I like the chord progression of that one. Every now and then they'll use a chord that is a little unsafe. It just gives it a bit of a dimension. You know, when you go back to those first couple songs that were just very 1-4-5, you know, 1 chord, the 4 chord, and the 5 chord in any key are the only 3 major chords a key can have. Real quick, if I'm in C major, the 1 chord is C major. If I go to the 4 chord, it's also major. If I go to the 5 chord, it's also major. If I go to the 3 chord and use those notes, that's not happy. The 2 chord is not happy either. So when they pick those 3 major chords in a given key, it's going to sound upbeat. And I think it's so funny. I'll just pull up the lyrics and it's like, God damn it, man. Like, everything's hopeless. So whenever they use those kind of darker minor chords, you know, in this past song, they just went down to the F sharp minor just one time before the chorus. That's the only bit of dark music they've really given me. So it's like they almost cognitively do this. They're intentionally, it's by design. It's by design to write about real raw stuff and then have the music just be a bit of a subversion to the whole thing. So far what I'm getting, I'm kind of writing that down in my notes. They tend to do this almost every song I've checked the lyrics out so far. Really cool. Let's move on to Ruby, Soho. Oh, wow. That's a cool intro. I want to hear that again. Wow. So anthemic. His tone sounds extra bright on this one. Definitely have to be a pick on this one, if not the whole album. I'm not too hung up on that whole thing anymore. Great bass tone is a great bass tone. Interesting. Real melodic singing. I haven't heard a ton of that yet. Really sticking in that G major scale. Even the intro kind of descended it. That's a catchy ass chorus. Whoa. Ooh. What notes were those? Okay, there's my pause. They threw in an out-of-key note. It's very obvious when this band does it because they stay such in the diatonic box in terms of their chords so much, which is actually pretty smart. It's pretty smart because in some bands, when some bands just go out of key all the time, or they're like real smarty pants, like jazzy or something, it's like you kind of get used to it. And then when the song throws in something quirky, it doesn't pop out because you've already been used to hearing that. This is a smart way to use those kind of notes. You get the ear really used to something very diatonic. Diatonic just meaning in the key, it's playing it really safe. Then they throw in like a B flat out of nowhere, and it's so impactful. And that's a perfect example right there. They've got me used to just a really strong G major sound. My ear's used to it now. So when they're playing around in that sound, all of a sudden when they go to that B flat, it's like, it's more of like an impact tool for your ear. It's like a little bit of a different direction. And coming from the prog world, where it's customary to kind of be outside of the box all the time, I've honestly enjoyed later in life appreciating music that's not that, because I realize like how effective something that simple can be when in a prog band, you're just kind of looking for any excuse to be complex sometimes. And this is kind of the antithesis of that. It's used more as an accent, like a really strong spice in a dish. You just put a little bit and it goes such a far way. A little goes a long way type of thing. Nice one. See if they do that again. Yeah, this is really the most like singing I've really gotten. Vocals have been great, but just something melodic and soft, very dynamic. This is a cool one. Kind of letting his voice crack there. It's kind of vocal fry-ish. Kind of a cool dynamic. Now it's back in. I like that. Nice. So far, this doesn't count as a Daly City train pause. That's for Ruby Soho. Real quick. That's my favorite song I've heard so far. So far, it's between Ruby Soho and Time Bomb. So I know this album has 19 tracks. I think I read on Wikipedia there's a couple bonus tracks, but I didn't see those included on just the main one here on Spotify. Those two have really grabbed me so far. I think if I hadn't heard Maxwell Murder, that would be up there just in terms of the shock factor. But just great songwriting, smart usage of the out-of-key chords. Again, I'm just loving like how putting it in there one time can be such an effective thing. The last song was just catchy. Ruby, 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 so that kind of thing. It just kind of sticks with me, stuck in my head. So we're going to move on now. Daly City Train. Let's do it. These are really fun so far. I'm really getting a good idea of what Rancid are about, even if it's just one record, but this is so much more information than Maxwell Murder. Just, I'm looking forward to doing this. This is going to be a lot of fun. Ooh, nice percussion. Timbales, maybe? Sound like timbales to me. See, here he's driving the notes. The same type of accent, just boom, 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 boom. But he can alter those accents on a dime when he needs to. That's a true sign of an amazing, versatile player. Kind of like the second song so far, kind of in the same C, F, and G thing. No minor chords, no out of key stuff. Really getting your ear in that one sound. All right, lyric check. Where are we at? Spent all these years on this earth, when you look back, it's just a flicker of time. Oh, somebody died. See? Already saved. Religious snod? Here we are again, the contrast. It's so cool. He maintained a sense of himself. Wow, last time I seen him. Interesting. All right, taking my pause for this one. Never thought twice about being here. Like a little bit of a religious nod or a little bit of speaking about someone who had no aspirations. You know, fuck it, whatever happened, I die. There's nothing left for me. Not in like a suicide kind of way, but it sounds like just catching in on this little brief context of the lyrics. It's about someone who just lived in the moment, never had any bigger plans for themselves, and now they're no longer with us. So this is kind of like a look back at this person. You know, these songs could be about anything. It's even more subjective than the music sometimes, which is why I don't get too crazy invested in the story. You know, there's songs in Tetrafusion, it's a band I've had for a long time. We're actually working on a new record. You know, we're writing songs just so metaphorically, lyrically. We're actually doing that right now. We hope to record that later this year. But sometimes you just write songs about personal experiences and then you filter it through a metaphor and then flip an analogy on the whole thing. It could just be really about anything. So maybe I'm taking these kind of literally, but all the lyrics seem to be pretty literal and personal about whoever the lyric writer is in the band themselves, somebody they know, something they've experienced, someone who's no longer with us, personal struggles. Those are kind of the topics I'm picking up. Could be way off base. That's how lyrics go sometimes. What is Hotel California about? I think Don Henley said he didn't even know. So it's kind of fun to look at lyrics in that way because they're going to hit everyone differently. That's how they hit me. Let's keep it going. Daly City Train. Cool one so far. All these leads have been so like surf rockish. Like just real simple, the tones. Nothing frilly, just kind of dry. That's a unique thing I just wouldn't expect to hear. I would expect it to be just a blazing solo for some reason to match the intensity of the rest of their music, but it's like surf rock, like a Beach Boys kind of guitar lead. It's a really cool element. Cool ending there. Okay, before I start this is one that was requested on YouTube a lot, and I don't know if I'm ever going to put these songs on YouTube. Again, it's tough to put a full album on YouTube. I mean, a whole record. I would have to have so much commentary to balance it out, and it's just these videos would be too long. But this is one this has been on my list to do on YouTube, to come back and visit one from this record. It's going to be here on Patreon. And I think the cool thing is if a specific song just gets so many requests on YouTube, or you guys really think I should put one of these songs on YouTube, I can always pluck a snippet from this episode and put it on there. But we'll see. I want to reserve something for Patreon. You know, YouTube's a bit more fast paced. You know, putting a 2 or 3 hour video on YouTube, or even a 1 hour video is a stretch. You know, putting the decline on there was a stretch. I'm surprised people watched it that long, but I'm very grateful for that. But these are fun to do here and just kind of let them be free flowing. So excited for this one. I forgot that this was on the album. I didn't really read the track listing. I thought this might have been on the 2000s album, or maybe I'm thinking of Axiom, which is also on my list. But okay, this is one I've had on my list. I'm excited to hear this one. Let's go. Journey to the End of the East Bay. Heck yeah, I'm going to start that one over. That's so melodic in a low register. Love blending the two notes together. Wow. It's just tasteful playing. Pushing the upbeats. Down, 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 down. Nice chromatic thing there. Okay. I see why this was requested. 1564.
What you gonna do when everybody goes on without you? To the end, I'll journey to the end, to the end, I'll journey to the end,
Journey to the end. Catchy chorus.
journey to the end. Started in 87, ended in 89. You got a garage door and every play anytime. It's just a four of us, yeah, man, the core of us. Too much attention on the board and been destroyed us. 4 kids on tour, 3,000 miles in a photo car, not knowing what's going on. We got a million years, I torn out like
Cool.
this. Hell no premonition could have saved it.
Take my pause here. It's crazy how he starts with the song with this just really beautifully played bass intro. Nothing crazy complex. I think the beauty's in the details on that one. The way he very carefully separates the notes. Because again, if you put a bunch of low notes together in this range, this is where he is. You know, after a while, it just starts to sound. The lower you get, multiple notes on bass can be dirty. And he's like very cognizant of which ones ring out and which ones don't. So if memory recalls me, he kind of did like a. He lets that major third ring out. He's kind of in the safe space up here. Once you do, thirds up here, this is about as low as you can go. Thirds down here sound like shit. But up here, start to get a little better, then you get up here. So he kind of adds this like walking bass line, but syncopated on the upbeats. Dun 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 dun. And then he has that really complex, kind of just very dominant intro. And then right here, it's the simplest bass playing you could possibly do for a simple chord progression. 1, 5, 6, 4. And he's just driving it. And I think the restraint he shows, now that I've heard what a freak of nature player he is, showing restraint when it's needed is another hallmark of amazing musicianship. Knowing when just to get out of the way and let the song breathe for what it is, and then injecting those little bits of nuance, complexity, and technicality where it really counts. Maybe I'm about halfway through the album. I'm just looking at the main Spotify screen, so I'm just seeing it track to track. But I feel like everybody in this band has an awareness of that. And that, I think, is why bands are so successful like this. They just have a really great understanding of when and where everything should go. It's not like leaving it to chance or doing a guitar solo over the vocal. It's just, it's like they know how to read the room in their own band room, if that makes sense. And you just kind of hear that awareness with some bands and others you don't. I really hear it with this one, because a guy like Matt Freeman, who played the Maxwell Murder solo, many tracks later, is keeping these really simple, just, requisite grooves, nothing flashy about it. I like that he has that gradient of ability. And I think it's more impressive when a player can play something like Maxwell Murder and not feel the need to approach every part of the song that way across a record. And it's not a super uncommon thing I'm saying, but I just hear it really well done here. Okay. Journey to the end of the East Bay. Look at these lyrics. Maddie came from far away, from New Orleans. With that E flat in there. That off note, that's cool. Okay. From New Orleans. I live in Louisiana. Shout out.
This place is fucked. 3 months go by. He had no home. He had no food. He's all alone. I said from it once.
Real and raw once again.
Twice. He went back to New Orleans.
Back to New Orleans? I don't know. Cool one. I thought my stuff was skipping there for a minute. Is that an ambulance at the end? I've heard bands do that before. Cool little touch. Journey to the End of the East Bay. Okay. A lot of mentions of New Orleans in there. I'm from Louisiana. I'm about 4 hours away from New Orleans. I'm more in the Northwest. But to leave somewhere and come back to New Orleans, I mean, I'm not dogging on New Orleans. It's a cool place. Everybody should visit it once. There's nothing like it in the world. Yeah, another just like really, I don't know if grim's the right word, but just a real honest, like hopeless story. Somebody traveling wherever the East Bay is, if that's just a figurative geographic area, if there's somewhere really it's referring to here. But I love that little mention of New Orleans. Very cool. Sounds like he was homeless, maybe. But favorite part about this song is that bass intro kind of contextualizing the song right out of the gate, and it just reappearing more as a melodic figure. It almost had like a vocal cadence to it. The kind of the way he ascended those notes, kind of on the upbeats, it kind of had a vocal type of character and quality to it. And I love when he descended. I didn't want to stop again because I'm giving myself one pause to make sure these are a little bit more free-flowing, as I said, but I love how he goes. He added that minor third in there against all the major tonality. And then once again, it wasn't necessarily a chord the band went to as a whole, but just putting that in there that one time, a little goes a long way. And that's a very cognizant choice. I think ascending and being kind of happy kind of gives it a different sound coming back down. It's a clever use. Clever use of that E flat, because at nowhere in the song did that note belong. Just a bit of a chromatic tension thing. It's almost like it's ending on a unsure note before it goes back into the happier parts of the song. Very cool. Let's move on. She's Automatic. She's Automatic. Here we go.
The way that she moves, well, I was aroused, empowered and passion by every move.
High energy, okay?
So cold outside, we need a place to hide. Going to the club to buy half of the night. She's automatic, so automatic. The way that she moves, the way that she moves. She's automatic, so automatic. The way she moves. Situations so tricky, I was feeling so proud. The bass and the drums, the music so loud. She asked me if I would stand at her side like glue that I would to the end of the night.
Interesting.
She's automatic, so automatic. The way that
Back to
she moves,
CFG.
the way that she moves.
Happy as can be.
So automatic, the way she moves, yeah.
Ooh. Quarter note triplet there.
My head was spinning a million miles an hour. The chance I was taking, I get anxious around her. She put her head on my shoulder, started to hold her, swinging and swaying, the morning begun. She's automatic, so automatic.
I want to hear that again. That was cool.
I get anxious around her. She put her head on my shoulder, started to hold her, swinging and swaying, the morning begun. She's automatic, so automatic.
Bass coming out in the spotlight, kind of supporting those vocals. Very cool. Very playful. Awesome. Very cool one. I like the playful nature of that bass part, kind of just coming in and a clear vocal break. The bass didn't even need to be there for that because it was really driving the rest of the song. This is more of like the earlier part of the record. C, F, and G kind of just driving. And some of these songs are, I noticed they're much shorter. I feel like I'm listening to it and it's already like up next, but it's almost like they're interludes, but they're their own songs. You know, some bands have like little minute-long tracks, little, I don't want to say filler. This is not filler, but it's like instead of doing that, they just made it a whole nother song. You get these little short, anthemic afterthoughts that might have they might have placed them just between two songs to have that sort of effect or to affect the pacing of the record. I don't know. I've never been in a band that's written 1 and 2 minute songs. The songs we write are 15 minutes. Literally. My band Tetrafusion has a 15-minute track. Oh man, to be a teenager again. But it's a different kind of art and sequencing. Something that's kind of cool. Again, a lot of the albums I grew up listening to didn't have 19 tracks, but they can do that and still be right at 50 minutes. So I'm curious if they're just like ideas they developed. Like, is this a chicken and the egg thing? Like, how did those short songs compete with the real bigger, long, more anthemic songs? Like, how do they make them on the album? That's some interesting discussion because, again, coming from the prog world, you know, there was no 1 and 2 minute songs. If you're a fan of Scale the Summit, the band I was in the longest and I guess I'm known for, we did have a 1 minute song on a record, but it was just a guitar interlude, nothing to it. It's almost like, what if we just made that a song? It could have still been 1 minute, but it could have been more like this, you know? Pretty cool. All right, Old Friend. Let's keep going. Oh, man. Upbeats, bass. Just a cool feel. Cool thing. Wow. This one's grabbing me so far. Dig it. Yeah, this one's cool. Good Morning Heartache. Cool sequencing there. That's a really catchy just note sequence. I mean, it's kind of a basic rhythm for bass. I think it goes a little higher. Yeah. Really cool. I'm trying to see what this song's about. Let's keep it going. For a moment, I thought it was about being on the road, maybe. Not sure. The guitar is freaking awesome in the song. Just so energetic. It's kind of panned over here. 6 cents in the pocket of mine. And the city behind? Sounds like being on the road to me. Is it about a vehicle? Tour bus? Van and trailer? Don't know. There's the organ. I don't think I've heard that in a while. Really cool. Love when the organ comes in. Just a little spice added. All right. Disorder and Disarray. Here we go. Whoa. There again, like an instance of just one out of key chord. They are doing this a lot. It's really effective. See if they do it again. Wow. Okay. Same thing as a couple songs ago. I really need to have the whole track listing here so I can refer back. A couple songs ago, whichever one I was talking about, them using that B flat, the flat major 7 and C major. Again, B flat's not in C major. We're in F now, and they're going to an E flat. Same concept, because in F major, it's E natural. So they're going. Going to that flat major 7 sound again. So that's something they've done twice now. And same type of theme where they just put it in once right before chorus. And if I point out something a band does, it doesn't mean they're using it like formulaically, but it's just something that I notice is very effective in their songwriting. It kind of just, it like makes the chorus hit harder than if they didn't do it. I don't know. That's kind of how I noticed they use it. It's just like to make the chorus one notch more impactful. That's what I think. Okay. Really cool guitar stuff going on. Just the tones they're using. Yeah. Got that chanty thing again. There it was. They only hit on it once. Okay. Huh. Tim, let's play along, Crucify Me. Okay. That was a catchy one too. Okay, The War's End. Here we go. The guitar tones have been really diverse on this record. Bass tone, like vocal tone, drums, of course. The guitar tones have had a lot of diversity. It's been one of my favorite things so far. Damn, that snare is like... I guess I can really hear it on this song. Oh, nice. Tasty stuff on bass.
Now it's time for you to leave home. Whoa, now the war is over. Whoa, now we're at the war's end. We're at the war's end. We're at the war's end. Yeah. We're at the war's end.
Guitar kind of doubling it like that. Okay, this is my between song. Interesting thing they only did once there too. They did a major 2 chord, which, not to just sit here and pick apart all the theory stuff, but it's something that I think I pointed out in the decline as well. And I think I remember this comment specifically. Someone said major chords when they're supposed to be minor, something a lot of punk bands do. And this was on the NoFX video. But if we're in a typical key, G major, the 2 chord is minor because all those notes out of the notes in the G major scale, if you start on A, it makes an A minor chord. But they made it major, and the guitar's the only one that sounded like it was really made major, and it kind of went between like a suspended third, fourth kind of thing. So this kind of sound. Kind of a 4/3 suspension is what that's called. It's where you hang on the 4. It sounds unresolved. And he kind of slid between that and the lead, kind of making it a major 2 chord. I thought that was really effective. It's almost as like they wanted to just make it as happy as possible and upbeat. So they took the minor chord they were on and just said, fuck it, we're going to make it major. Thought that was neat. And yeah, the guitar tones are just so diverse on this record. I'll talk about that at the end because I've written some things down about it. But let's keep going with You Don't Care Nothin'. Ooh. 1-4-6-5 again. Okay, it's kind of a reprise to that same song I think I heard earlier. This sounds familiar. Earlier in the record. Yeah, I think they've played this before. Something very similar. It is. He's doing that same run. I'm not saying this is like a direct like reprise of a riff, but it's got the very, very similar structure with the little bass fill. And this song sounds just the way the drums are just really driving on the crash a bit more. I feel like we're getting close to the end of the record. You could just feel the epicness just kind of building. Which is what a lot of bands do in records. I mean, it's a great way to just kind of have some flow to the record, but just sounds a little more epic. Let's keep it going. A little more in your face. Cool. Nice little outline of the progression by Matt. That was tasty. Yeah, it's just got a bit of an epic tinge to it. It's kind of wrapping up. Yeah, I feel the energy level just going up a bit. I could just, kind of the way they're playing. Okay, As Wicked. Kind of the way Maxwell Murder started. It's almost like the bass player is the conductor. He's just driving the way the songs kind of start and stop. I saw a man on a string. Okay. Thought it was going to go like super crazy. Longer sustained bass notes. Sounds like bass and guitar have kind of went back to more traditional roles. Bass is holding the longer notes. Guitar is a little more intense now. Ooh. Ah, that was tasty. I gotta hear that again. Nice.
I know this girl, she's barely alive. She's all haggard, she's only 25. She said she's never had a friend before. I said, hey girl, I'll be your friend, but who's keeping score? I saw this other little girl on the phone. Her mother's come with her from far from home. The little girl's very hesitant. Her best friend lied dead on a pavement.
Here it is again. That's a clever part. Some na-na-nas. I'm a sucker for them. Huh. Again with the surf rock kind of leads. That's pretty unexpected, to be honest.
My friend Marty said, Tim, you're a lucky man.
I love that he keeps repeating that. I'm glad it wasn't just a one-time little bass lead. Like part of the song now. Okay, Avenues and Alleyways. Here we go. This kind of has an epic thing. Hey, now he's not doing it. Interesting choice to just walk it up that previous time, but keep it more straight this time. Oh, here it is. The way it changes the chords, I really dig. He's done this a lot, almost in every song. Ooh, claps. See, something easy to latch onto. It's great. It's just great to grab a listener with stuff like this. Back to the walking. Big chords. I'm a battering ram coming through to you in every alleyway. Interesting metaphor for something. Kind of rock ending, okay. Up next, The Way I Feel. All right. Avenues and Alleyways. That was a cool one. Great, just almost like formatting of the bass part. Some of those same chords, he just stuck it kind of straight. The others, he did that walking bass line. Using just all that passing tone goodness to kind of just make it just this slow burn. You're kind of like really leaning into the next chord. It's not just an immediate G, C, D. Kind of just falls into it really slowly. And it just makes those chord progressions have a different feel than keeping it straight. And he's done a just really interesting job about mixing that up in one song. Matt Freeman has controlled the pacing of every song, like just as much as the drums have. All right, The Way I Feel, here we go. Ooh. That was a thick intro. Kind of a chicken picking sound kind of lead there, okay. Nanas. Very easy to remember. Same thing I said earlier. All right. You say that I'm different. Huh. Not sure if this is about somebody being at the top and suddenly being too cool for you. You say that I'm different. You say that I'm different. The only thing different is the way I feel about you. If I knew back then what I knew now, then it would all turn out like, oh, I can't scroll down because the song's paused. The na-nas are just like a moment to pause and think about what was just said lyrically. And it never fails. I hear a na-na-na, it just like suckers me back into what the vocals are doing. And I don't know if bands do that intentionally. Again, I don't have a lot of experience being in a band with a performing vocalist live. You know, the band I'm referring to, Tetrafusion, has done a lot of studio stuff, never really played live. Maybe one day. But I just interested to know when bands get a sense of how their audience responds, album cycle after album cycle, if they, you know, again, chicken and the egg, when do these things come up? Are they just live ideas in a vacuum? Or is it really an artistic choice to contrast the subject matter being spoken in the song? We're just going to fill it with something that means nothing, to kind of let those things percolate and permeate just on the fresh of your mind. On the fresh of your mind. Fresh on your mind. Keep going. Oh, grace notes he's doing.
I'd sit back and I'd watch you squirm. Cause you say I'm different. Say I'm different, man. Oh, the only thing different is the way I feel about you.
That's catchy. Just like 4 notes every time. So good. okay. And Out Come the Wolves by Rancid. Third studio album, 1995. I feel like I have a way bigger understanding of this band now. I've really heard the breadth of their sound, and I'm sure if I were to visit other albums, I would get a different taste. But wow. Couple notes here. 40 seconds left. I got to figure out this SD card situation. So here we go. Favorite song, Old Friend. Second favorite song, Ruby Soho from the catchiness, but I thought Old Friend just really stood out. I love the guitar tone diversity. I feel like the drums, bass, even the vocal style were pretty similar throughout every song. It's the guitar tones that kind of painted everything in a different color. I really dig that. I didn't expect to hear some of those sounds, organ, etc., etc. But thank you guys for hanging out with me. 15 seconds, I'm running out. I'll figure this out for next time, but I hope you enjoy the full album reaction. I'd love to do more. We'll vote on them. We're going to have a lot of fun. Cheers. Love you. See you next time. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm going to let it black out. Here we go. Goodbye.